third and final race about to get underway. It is the first ever race start for the Super Formulas. Here's how they line up. It's Smithy on pole position with John Cox starting alongside him. Then Andrew Sexton and Stephen Williams. Keep an eye out for him on the getaway. Steve Rubins, our pole sitter from the previous race, in fifth. And Colin Ward with Danny Henney lining up in 7th place, the three-time champion. Jose Coy, Miguel Morland and Daniel Snortelen complete the top 10 with Bradley Philpott lining up in 11th ahead of Lucas Raskowitz. Then comes Tim Ellis and Kyle Power with Alexander Dobbsberger and Taro Tylus on the 8th row of the grid. Gregoire Gomez and James Gill resume their battle from row 9. And Luke Power and Sam Harper, our race 2 winner, lines up from 19th and 20th. Then we have Alexander Merafikani, Sean Bennett, Frick Smith, and David Hatton starting all the way down in 24th there. Mark Greenhout, not been a happy day for him. He'll be hoping to end on a high, but from 25th, that's going to be quite a tall order. We're about to get underway for the first ever Super Formula race start in the Mist Apex iRacing Championship. All the lights are on. We get racing now. A big puff of smoke from the pole sitters' front tyres. Few cars having to take avoiding action. That looked like Lucas Raskowitz, who almost ended up in the barrier, avoiding the slow-moving car from the front row. Stephen Williams on the inside there. Oh, big lock-up from Smithy. He's run straight off the track, but he has managed to hang on to the lead. And yes, Jose O'Donnell seems to be out already. It's John Cox. Oh, now, was that now? Oh, well, oh my goodness me. Danny Henney, that was Danny Henney going for a spin. Henney trying to get up into 5th place, I think that was. He's gone for a spin on the outside of turn 2. There was a weird moment there. It looked like Sexton lost his front wing. Oh, he did. There was definitely contact there. And I think maybe a visual glitch there because it looked like Henney lost his rear wing, and that maybe is why that happened. But, well, Smithy's gone clear. Sexton's cut across the chicane there. So John Cox, here he's in 2nd, that blue cherry blossom car. Stephen Williams in the West McLaren colours in 3rd place, chasing him down. Sexton still in 4th, and Bradley Philpott up to 5th place already. So coming into the final sector for the first time, Smithy, his advantage is already 2 seconds ahead of John Cox. That's astonishing speed. Cox is definitely proving to be the cork in the bottle here as Sexton runs a bit wide. Philpott in that stake black and green car tries to take advantage and goes the long way around the final corner. This would be a very ambitious maneuver. Let's see if he uses the push to pass in that as well. Or is Stephen Williams doing it? No, neither of them are. Actually, I don't think you can use it on the first lap, actually. But Williams on the inside into turn 1 takes 2nd place away. Philpott, we see they're locking up, but getting around the outside for 4th place.
I'm wishing John Cox all the love and support in the world here because he's had a couple of disastrous races, managed to fight his way up into that reverse top 20, and now I'm just hoping he can keep it on track because he was a lap down in the F4, but he's got no chance of holding Philpott off. But I just hope he can survive this.
Well, Philpott getting right under the rear wing of Cox's car on the way into turn 5, and that means he has to go a little bit defensive, actually, try and cover off Sexton. He knows Sexton will have a lunge there on the inside, but now he can gather himself up and set his sights on Cox again. So Stephen Williams into 2nd place at the start of the lap. He is 3.6 behind the race leader. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Philpott gets a brilliant run out of turn 9 and into turn 11. That was an astonishing move. Sexton fancies a bit of that as well. He was on the push to pass there. You saw the flashing green on the roll hoop.
I didn't know you can see it.
Yep, that's what it looks like. So Sexton taking full opportunity on that. Now Philpott's got a bit of space. He's 1.7 behind Williams now. So let's see how that gap unfolds across the course of the race. Although Smithy has got some genuine pace up at the front of the field, but Williams has done the fastest lap of the race.
So
looking at Sexton here.
So Sexton doesn't have
front
damage.
wing damage. It doesn't look
no,
like
Sexton's fine. I've zoomed in. He's okay. So it turns out, and lots of people are asking this, no one has been able to see what happened to Danny, so it looks like there was some kind of big glitch there.
Oh, well, that's it's very unlucky, isn't it? And of course, Danny was very unlucky in the last couple of seasons. He would argue that's why he didn't end up with the championship.
Yeah.
But,
the live stream a request for Steve. Joel is asking Steve, can F1 style, can we now have several replays of the start now that the gap's warming up?
Well, Tim
He says not on his
Ellis.
watch.
Tim Ellis here will have something to say about that as he's lining up a move on John Cox now on the inside of turn 11. And that is 5th place now for Tim Ellis in that blue and yellow car. Multiple race winner across the many different series that we've run on our racing over the years. And got himself up into good position. Started outside of the top 10. I think he started 11th, didn't he? So
yeah, he's up ahead of.
Run there.
So he's up ahead of John Cox, and I think a lot of the action, sadly, will be the John Cox train now, as Miguel Morland and Steve Rubins line up to be the next to pass. But behind that, there's a massive gaggle with Daniel Snodderland, James Gill, Luke Power, Mark Greenow, all top names here, just vying for position. And there's definitely some action to come here.
Yeah, here's James Gill trying to get around the outside there of Daniel Snodderland for 9th position. I am just wondering what happened to Greg Gomez at the start of the race, because his name just popped up, having done the fastest lap of the race, but not seeing him inside the top 20 anywhere. So
no, he's 23rd.
Yeah, some sort of drama maybe has befelled him, and potentially Carl Power as well. I see nephew Luke up in 11th place, but I can't see Carl anywhere at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on the Norwegian, Daniel Snodderland. And we'll be able to see what happened to Greg Gomez here on the first lap. So, Carl Power on the other side of the track with Colin Ward. And 3 into 1 did not seem to go at all. Huge mess there down at turn 4. That involved Alexander Dobertsberger as well. So that explains why we haven't seen any of them make their way up the order yet. Wow.
Not Dobby's first adventure today, sadly, in the F4. Well, ended up tangling with Smith. Oh, look at that. That is very unlucky. Oh, imagine taking out Kyle, Colin, Dobertsberger and Greg in the same incident. Amazing.
Philpott has closed up on Stephen Williams for 2nd place. He's right on the gearbox now of that West McLaren coloured car. And Philpott, he's got a monster run here already out of turn 3. How did he do that? How on earth? I didn't see it, but maybe it was. That was a mega run out of turn 3. And Philpott now into 2nd place. And interestingly, on the last lap, despite being in Williams' dirty air, he was 0.3 quicker than our race leader, Smithy. But the gap is now 5.5 seconds, and we've got about 11.5 laps to go. So let's see if Philpott can do it.
I don't know, yeah. So what, do half a second per lap? It is possible. I don't think the tyres are going to go. And as good as Alex Smith has been in this series, if you said to him now, okay, you've got a 5.5 second lead over Brad Philpott, what do you think the odds are? I think he's going to be feeling nervous up there, to be honest.
Silver class lead is up for debate as John Cox in 6th place has got Miguel Morland for close company. Here is that battle. For some reason, John Cox not showing up as the silver background on his number, but he is in the silver class as Snodderland, the gold class driver, tries to get involved in this right around the outside of Morland at turn 1. And he wasn't able to get the move done, but he might have the momentum here. Oh, Morland chops across the nose and forces Snodderland to go the long way round.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
There they are, and Morland just able to hang on to the place.
A bit of a shout out to our race control, Richard Molden, who wasn't able to join for the first 2 rounds, but still set everything up whilst dealing with some issues at home. He started 39th on the grid, is up to 16th place. That has got to be one of the performances of this race.
Yeah, that is genuinely astonishing. Lovely job done there by Richard Molden.
A bit of a specialist. Bit of an SF specialist.
Yeah, it puts in so much effort to make these races happen. So, arriving on the scene of this battle as well is Luke Power in 9th position, just closing these guys down while they squabble. There he is. That yellow and white car. It's turning into a 4-car battle now for 6th position. Let's see what kind of run Moreland gets down the straight. It's yeah, not using the push to pass on that occasion. Snortland again with the run down the straight, not doing anything with it though. A big swapper there for Moreland as he came out of turn 1. And that might be inviting for Snortland to once again try and get round the outside. Again, nothing quite doing as they make their way down the hill.
Shout out to Alex Smith for really keeping this pace up. So I keep looking at the timing screen, expecting it to be just chunking and chunking down, but he's really holding it. And he's one of these guys, Alex, that maybe 3 seasons ago I was trying to compete with him in the at the bottom ends of the top 10. But his pace is just electric, and when he keeps his nose clean, this is what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, last time around they both did a 25.4, so very impressive pace there. Now, I wonder if Snortland just picked up a bit of front wing damage at the chicane there. It looked like something flew off the car, but might be a bit of a visual glitch as he got very close to the back of Miguel Moreland. Running deep into the chicane was the silver class driver. And that caused Snortland to check up just a little bit, and I'm sure Luke Power will have been holding his breath behind them as well, because that's the 3rd time today he's been in that position. Oh, now we've done. We're talking about the top 2 matching pace. Philpott last time around took half a second out of the race leader. With the fastest lap of the race to boot as well as Power tries to get down the inside into the first corner for 8th position. Not sure if they quite just made a bit of contact there, but it certainly compromised Snortland's run down the straight, and round the outside into turn 2 goes Luke Power. Very close between front and rear wheel, but Power's got his man and into 8th place.
Geez, John Cox really hanging on. Way better than I thought he would. He's in 6th place. Like, massive shout out to John. He's got Miguel behind him, but Miguel's been behind for some time now, and Miguel is the one under pressure now.
Yeah, he's gathered himself up a little bit and sort of said about closing down that gap again to his class rival. Remember, this is for the silver class lead between Cox and Moreland here. It was a couple of scruffy laps from Moreland, but he has gathered himself up, and the gap back down to just 0.2 of a second. But might be a little bit disrupted now with Luke Power, the Platinum driver, bearing down on the pair of them. But Cox in that blue cherry blossom car. Philpott does another fastest lap of the race, and that was 0.6 of a second that time. So Philpott's really finding his momentum now. The gap down to 3.6, and we are just over half race distance. We're now on lap 9 of 16. Oh, he's got back marked traffic to contend with as well here as Philpott. But
oh no, that's Daniel. Really, good lads.
Nothing really doing as well. It's all kicking off for 6th and 7th. Meanwhile, because there we see Luke Power, he has made his way through on Miguel Moreland into turn 1. Big outbreaking manoeuvre it was on the inside. I thought for a second he wouldn't quite get it stopped, but he has managed to get through. Luke Power up into 7th place now, and Snortland won't want to be hanging around behind Moreland for too much longer. And,
come on, John, you can hold on.
John will be liking this because he's got a car between himself and his class rival, so he might enjoy it actually. But Power had a very good run through the chicane there. Cox just a little bit deep, it looked like, going into 6 and 7. But, it's a little bit for the leader through here, isn't it? Now is an opportunity where Power might be able to strike. He's got a good run. He's looking on the inside. Not quite able to draw an overlap. Cox has to leave him quite a bit of space at the apex. And there was definitely contact there, though, as Cox was squeezing Power over to the outside. Miguel Moreland fancies a crack at that, but can't manage to find a way through.
It was a little bit rude from Cox, to be fair. Power, he was there. He existed. His wheels were there.
He's on the push to pass his Power now. He's hit the button, and that's the difference it makes. That extra bit of fuel burn, giving him the power to just drag straight clear. And on the inside into turn 1, Luke Power is up into 6th place now.
I wonder how much John used this push to pass early on to keep himself in the train. But even then, I can't begrudge that. He was unlikely to beat Luke Power anyway, and a P7, P8, he's going to be delighted.
Getting the blinking in and out with Luke Power there. It's causing all sorts of visual glitches.
No, do you know what? The rules are being rewritten as we watch this based on Luke Power. So, you know, a lot of series would be a bit harsher on disconnects, but we'll let it run for now. I think he is aware of it. And that's some great driving from Daniel Cullen there, who just pulled off the track, determined not to get in the way.
Blue flags are advisory, it says in the...
Yeah, we're working on our blue flag rules.
Big dive here from Miguel Morland into turn 11. Again, this is for the silver class lead. And Cox is really driving. Oh no, Miguel Morland spun in the penultimate corner. And that's cost Daniel Snorterland quite dramatically as well, as we're about to have a change for fourth place here. Tim Ellis on the push to pass down the inside on Andrew Sexton. And that's Tim Ellis now up into fourth position.
Unfortunately, I think that's Snodderland being a little bit optimistic and aggressive there, and just not accounting for how much Miguel was having to leave room for John. And that's a poor end to Miguel's challenge. He deserved more than that.
And so we're going to see again what happened to Miguel Morland fighting over the silver class lead. Daniel Snorton right in there as well. Oh, we got a tag! I think he got a tag from Snorton. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
You never listen to me, Chris.
I would never say that on any other broadcast. So, the 2.7 seconds now is race leader Alex Smith's advantage over Bradley Philpott. He's continuing to chip away, took another 3/10 out of him last time around. Now quite comfortably clear of Stephen Williams now in third place in the middle of the pack. It's all kicking off, isn't it? This is Tero Tylers in 11th place. He's got James Gill for close company. And Gill coming under a bit of pressure here because Tylers is looking up the inside into turn 11 and gives him just enough space on the exit there, just Tylers, but draws clear by the time they get into the penultimate corner at turn 13, and that is Taro Tylers now up into 10th position, and Gregoire Gomez trying to take advantage of that as well. So remember, he was in the pits at the end of the first lap after a big drama at the end of, or in the middle of the first lap coming up to turn 4, and Gomez is now going to put himself into the, oh no he isn't, sorry, he's a lap down. I should have been looking more at the timing. Gomez is a complete ghost car in all of this.
No, he's not. No, he's not a lap down. He's in 11th. He's 11th, you lunatic.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my timing isn't updating.
Okay.
My timing wasn't updating there, but he is in 9th place now. So I'll go back to what I was saying before. This is a storming drive.
There we go. I'm going to ask you a question now, though. Who is Greg chasing down, overtaking now? And please use their full name.
Alexandros Moravkani, you mean?
Oh, you're good at this. I'm glad you said that.
I worked with a bunch of Thai drivers like Tanat Sathian Thirikul and Piti Pramrokani, so you got to do more than that to phase me.
That's why we have you. That's why we pay you the $0.
Yep. So Malden here is about to...
Wow. Oh, what a move.
Coming up on James Gill. That's Malden, the gold driver, getting past the platinum James Gill. And, but Malden who's just sort of turned up for this last race of the night, doing a cracking job out there in 12th place.
So if he'd have been able to do the F3, he might have been looking for, that reverse top 20. And if he'd have started up the front, I think he's going to be a feature all season in the Super Formula. Just an absolute specialist in the high downforce cars.
You do see that, don't you? I mean, we were talking about it with Kyle Power earlier. He does much prefer the higher downforce cars, so we're not seeing that at the moment. And so Gomez makes up another position here on Maruf Khani. That's into 8th position. I mean, we've said it a lot before, but this is the kind of drive that makes a championship, doesn't it? He's had 2 compromised races, and yet he's dragged out brilliant results out of all 3 races here. This is just the dream start for Greg.
And in the Missed Apex Championship, the reverse grids, I know it's controversial in other series and stuff, but you see these drivers having to prove themselves. Here it's particularly challenging because it's such a tight circuit, but all throughout the season you don't get to be Verstappen currently or Hamilton 2020. It's just not going to happen. You get put back in the pack and you have to fight. And how you do in the pack really affects the championship. And Greg, 2-3 seasons ago, you'd write him off because he's getting into incidents left, right, and centre. And yet, today, he's, even though he's got in a few scrapes, he's still got through them all and he's fought through them all. And this is the reigning champ, and he's showing us why. Sam
Harper here in 11th position, trying to make his way into the top 10. Sam Harper, our race 2 winner. And, well, Tero, driving on the grass like that isn't going to do you too many favours, son. Especially with the push to pass in there as well, it's a relatively simple move for Harper in the end. He's into the top 10.
How many laps have we got left, Chris?
We are on lap 14 of 16. I've been keeping an eye on that as well, Spanners, because the lead gap is now just 2 seconds between Smithy and Philpott. He was only a 10th quicker on that last lap.
Yeah.
If Smithy makes a mistake, 2 seconds with 2.5 laps to go, or slightly less than 2.5 now because their leaders are coming around the last 2 corners. But he's well in his sight line, and pressure's on for Smithy in the closing stages of this race. In the meanwhile, we will keep an eye on Greg Gomez's progress because he has caught the silver class leader Miguel Morland in the middle sector here. And this would be for 7th position overall.
Yeah, this isn't a given. As I said to you before, Miguel won't say, "Oh, that's Greg. That's not my fight." He will go, "I'm in 7th place. If you want 7th place, come get it. I will take an eye."
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the class battles. I know we talk about the class battles, but the points are all scored overall. So it's not like he's getting a win's worth of points for being the top silver class leader. So every position he does hang on to overall will make a difference in his class battle. It is worth him trying to hang on for that 7th place.
This is well worth watching.
Harper has another look at Murray Khani there, but nothing doing into the first corner.
Yeah, this Greg's overtake is imminent now. He's all over him. There is a significant talent difference between these two, but the competition level, Greg just does not yield. If he sees a gap, he absolutely goes for it. Sometimes to his detriment, but that's how he carves through the pack so quickly. If he sees an opportunity, he is on it. He goes with the flow, and Miguel will defend fiercely. They nearly come together in the chicane, and I don't think this is like a given. This is not an easy gimme for Greg.
It certainly isn't. Leaders, meanwhile, have started their final lap while we've been watching this. The gap 1.7 seconds, so it looks like Smithy's race to lose at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on it in the other window, but certainly there's still an opportunity for Gomez to try and get into 7th position.
That is here as well.
That is the gap between Philpott and Smithy. So Gomez and Morland here just about to start their last lap.
He's not scared of a curb, is he, Greg?
I'd say he's been monstering them, hasn't he, here? And look at that on the push to pass, and the recycle is going on there for Morland. See that slow flashing green? He can't use it. It's in the 100-second cooldown, and Gomez able to use that to his advantage and draw clear into turn 1. So Gomez up into 7th position.
Yeah, well done on Harper around the outside of Andreas as well. Alexandros.
Oh, Murray Khani, you mean?
I'm pretty sure I said that. If you roll back, I said it. Still side by side though. My goodness, what a fight this is! Into that horrible turn 4, and Andreas has to just, at some point you have to yield through there.
Yeah, you certainly do. Leaders coming around the final corner. In the meantime, here is Alex Smithy Smith, who has repelled the advances of Bradley Philpott throughout the race and takes victory in the Super Formula race at the Hungaroring. Philpott has to settle for second. The gap at the end, 1.2 seconds. I'm sure Philpott gave it absolutely everything, but brilliant drive from Smithy nonetheless. And we've got Smithy in the commentary box. Smithy, how did that feel, just watching the lead gap coming down?
Pressure. I'll tell you what, there's a song I'm listening to at the minute. It's a country song, and there's a lyric which is if pressure makes diamonds, how am I still cold? I did it. That was a lot of pressure, and I knew on the first lap I had to put the overtake on just to get away from the pack.
Yeah, I mean, you had to make hay while the sun was shining, didn't you? Really? I mean, that first lap, in particular, you were trying to go like a scolded cat, and you had something like 4 or 5 seconds by the time Philpott got up to second.
Yes. And then when he was closing as well, the blue flags weren't particularly helpful. I don't know if you caught that on stream.
No, we didn't see them, unfortunately.
But that just made the gap come closer, and I was like, oh no.
Oh dear. Well, I'm sure Brad was rubbing his hands together. The good news is that his live stream will have been looking at the back of your car for quite a bit of that race.
Yes, it's awesome. I'll make sure. I need to watch this stream back and that stream back as well. So
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Smithy, fantastic driving. We've seen you evolving over the last few seasons, and now that raw pace is being combined with a little bit of racecraft and building your races over the course of an evening. Are you in contention?
I don't know, because Sam Harper, I need to have what he has for breakfast, because he is quick. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. He's probably my number one competitor, so we'll see. And you, obviously, you're pretty quick. So I've got 2 competitors.
Nice. Cheers, Smithy.
Thanks for having a chat with us, Smithy. And that is his first win.
Yeah.
Using, of course, we had 3 different race winners so far today, and 8 different podium sitters. Yes, Phil.
That's so good, Chris.
2 different 2 podiums. So Alex Smith takes his first victory of the season ahead of Bradley Philpott, with Stephen Williams completing the podium there. Tim Ellis and Luke Power come home in the top 5. Andrew Sexton got second in the gold class in the end ahead of Greg Gomez. Great recovery drive for him, and I'm sure we look back on this at the end of the season, that will be a standout moment. Miguel Morland takes the silver class victory ahead of Sam Harper, and Alexandros Marivkani completes the top 10.
Chris, this has been a success. I was very nervous about this format, about the 3 cars, about how it progresses over the evening. We had endless discussions about whether it should be reverse grid, whether there should be qualifying, even reverse championship grid for the F4. But this has been an entertaining stream. I can tell you the drivers are buzzing, and this is going to be an amazing season.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to it. We'll look forward to seeing how the points are tabulated at the end of the night as well. But from us tonight, that is everything. We will have another round of the Missed Apex iRacing Championship on March the 29th, Good Friday. And it will be a Good Friday because we'll be racing. So we'll see you then.